My name is Constance Marie, and I will be reading you the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was dearly loved by all, most of all by her grandmother. Wherever she went, she always wore a little red cape with a hood, which her grandmother had made for her, so people called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, her mother packed a basket and said, "Here are a piece of cake, a pat of butter, and a bottle of grape juice. Take them to your grandmother, Little Red Riding Hood. She is sick in bed, and they will do her good. Keep right on the path, don't play on the way, don't talk to strangers, and when you see your grandmother, don't forget to say good day." Little Red Riding Hood promised. She took the basket, waved goodbye to her mother, and started off along the path through the wood. She had not gone far before she met a wolf. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf politely. "Where are you going, and what have you in your basket?"
"I'm going to see my grandmother," said Little Red Riding Hood. "I have a piece of cake, a pat of butter, and a bottle of grape juice for her."
"Well," said the wolf, "and where does your grandmother live?"
"On the other side of the wood," said
Little Red Riding Hood, pointing with her finger.
"My grandmother is sick in bed."
"I'm sorry to hear that," said the wolf. "Why don't you pick her some flowers?"
"I promised my mother I'd stay on the path,"
said Little Red Riding Hood.
"A pretty bunch of flowers would surely make your grandmother feel better. Don't you agree, Little Red Riding Hood?"
And away he went through the trees. In no time at all, Little Red Riding Hood was wandering about the wood, picking flowers here and there. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother's house.
"Who's there?"
called Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother from inside.
"It's Little Red Riding Hood,"
said the wolf in a wee little voice.
"Come in, my dear,"
called the grandmother, and the wolf went in and ate Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother up. Then he put on her nightgown and cap, climbed into her bed, and pulled the covers up over his nose. Soon, Little Red Riding Hood came skipping along toward her grandmother's house.
"Good day, grandmother,"
she called. She went in and stepped close to her grandmother's bed.
"Oh, grandmother,"
she cried, for her grandmother looked very strange.
"What big ears you have."
"The better to hear you with, my dear,"
said the wolf, rolling his eyes.
Grandmother, what big eyes you have,"
cried Little Red Riding Hood.
"The better to see you with, my dear,"
said the wolf, snapping his jaws.
"Oh, grandmother,"
cried Little Red Riding Hood,
"what big teeth you have."
"The better to eat you with,"
said the wolf, and he sprang from the bed and ate Little Red Riding Hood up. A passing woodsman stepped into the house to see how Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother was feeling, and when he saw the wolf, he said, "Aha! I have found you at last, you wicked old rascal!" He lifted his axe and with one blow killed him. Then he cut the wolf open and out stepped Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. They thanked the woodsman for what he had done. Then all three sat down and ate the cake and the butter and drank the grape juice, which Little Red Riding Hood had brought.